Okay guys, this really important number points to the fact that Micron is set to triple in the near future. Check this out guys. Forward PE of 6.54, that's completely insane. Let's talk about it in today's video, but before we do guys, as always, please like and subscribe. Always like to point out too that I do have a history of investing. You see here I have a net worth of $2,031,000. As far as stocks, I have $886,000 in stocks, with 317,000 in cash that I am looking to deploy. Just want to show you guys that I do have a history of investing. I know a thing or two. I've built my wealth through stocks and real estate investing as well. But guys, this forward PE of 6.54 for Micron, I want to show you guys why that is completely insane and why this points to the fact that Micron stock is very likely, in my opinion, to triple in the near future. And I'm not the only one that agrees with that, folks. Analysts across the board, the consensus is about a $2,000 price target. Currently, we're sitting at a little over 900, so that in itself is a little over a double. But if we look at that forward PE, again, just to circle back, 6.54 forward PE, that means price to earnings ratio based off of the expected earnings for the next 12 months. 6.54, remember that number, guys. Let's look at the top 20 companies in the S&P 500, right? And make no mistake, guys, Micron is considered an IT stock. It's at the center of the AI build out, and it is growing massively. So if you look here, NVIDIA, what is the forward PE of NVIDIA? 22. 22. Okay, you could argue, well, you know, NVIDIA is the biggest company in the world, etc. Let's look at the rest. Apple, 32.5 forward PE. That's like 5x of the forward PE of Micron stock. Microsoft, 23 forward PE. Alphabet, 25.3. Amazon, 28.1. Meta, 18.4. Meta stock has not been doing as well. Tesla at a crazy 61.4. We all know Tesla always sells for a massive multiple. Broadcom, 24. I think you guys are getting the hint here, right? Berkshire Hathaway, even Berkshire Hathaway, which is not a growth stock at all by any means, is trading at a forward PE of 14.8. So now we're at the top 10. 26, 31, 15, 22, 25. If we look at the top 20, I would say, you know, a lot of these aren't even really growth stocks, right? Like we don't think of Costco as a growth stock because it's not. It's at a 44 forward PE. Procter & Gamble, 21. Home Depot, definitely not a growth stock. That's at 20. So I think it's safe to say that if we're confident that Micron is going to hold these expected sales, this expected earnings and revenue for the next 12 months, that eventually this forward PE should creep up to, let's say, 20, right? We're just throwing a number out there, but again, we have everything here from, looks like the lowest is maybe a 14. The lowest is 12 with an Exxon Mobil, but really most of them are in the 20s, right? So let's say even if this 6.54 forward PE moves up to, let's say, a 20, that is a triple from where it is now. And how does that happen? How does this move from a 6.54 forward PE to a 20 forward PE? And essentially a couple of things have to happen. One, they have to at least hit the expected earnings, right? Because this is based off of the expected earnings in the next 12 months. And then secondly, investors need to stop being so skeptical, right? Because recently, if we look at the last day, down 4.71%. In the last few weeks, we're down about 22% from the high of about 1,200 per share. So this low forward PE, that shows skepticism, right? Investors are skeptical that Micron can continue to, you know, produce these earnings into the future. But I'm going to show you guys why that is completely ridiculous. And this is a perfect example of how Warren Buffett says, I will tell you how to become rich. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. And this is actually a hilarious example of where typically when you get a chart like this going literally vertically up, this is a sign people are being greedy, right? Like, oh, people are being greedy, it's time to sell. And that's what you see here, right? Over the last few weeks, you have people selling. You have this really dipping from that high. right? And that's exactly what it looks like if you see that peak there. So everyone here thinks they're a genius. Now, some people are selling and taking profits, but a lot of people think, well, this has gone up way too quickly. It's time to sell. But actually, as we all know, usually what the masses think, usually the opposite ends up being true, right? And if we look here, their revenue growth has gone up 167%. Their market cap has gone up 700%. Earning per share has gone up over 700%. And their PE ratio trailing is at a 21, which is very reasonable given, I believe, the S&P 500 is at about a 26 right now. And I just want to show you guys how most of this demand is locked in, right? So essentially, that demand that people are so fearful of could fall off a cliff, for the most part, is locked in. And let's take a look at this. The bull case for Micron stock centers on its booming high bandwidth memory supply, massive multi-year customer contracts that reduce historical cyclicity, and unprecedented demand fueled by AI data center expansion. Now, the key pillars driving Wall Street's optimism include sold out HBM capacity and pricing power that comes along with this high demand. Now, Micron's HBM capacity is sold out through 2026. So they are completely sold out for the next 2 quarters, completely booked. That revenue is locked in and it is happening, right? Forcing major AI infrastructure buyers like the hyperscalers to compete for limited supply and allowing Micron to command higher prices, aka they have massive pricing power. Long-term revenue visibility. The narrative that memory is strictly a cyclical commodity is changing. Micron has secured significant multi-year agreements, including the most recently one announced with GM and Ford as well, with substantial upfront customer deposits. And check out these recent results, guys. Strong demand has driven staggering revenue growth. Q3 fiscal year 2026 revenue was up 346% year over year with an unprecedented non-GAAP gross margins of around 85%. These are massive high-tech stock, high-growth margins. Now, analyst price targets are between $1,500 and $2,200, currently trading at a little over $900. That's at least a double, about a 2.5x, just based off of analyst consensus. And as we showed you guys, with a 6.5 forward PE, 6.54, even if it just goes up to 20, that's easily a triple. And all they have to do is hit their expected numbers. Now, let's ask the question, guys. How much of their demand has Micron locked in contractually for the next 12 months, right? So going even into next year, 12 months from now, Micron has contractually locked in 100% of its high bandwidth memory demand for the next 12 months, completely locked in. So it's not like this demand can fall off a cliff in the next 12 months. So that means in the next 12 months, we're almost guaranteed to have Micron hit their numbers with a high likelihood of actually beating expectations, which means if sentiment stayed the same, there's a good chance that 6.54 PE, if it stayed the same, would actually drop, given that earnings would actually go up even further. And guys, this is not going to trade at a 6.54 PE. It's just not, right? And the fact that it's trading at a forward PE of 6.5 means that sentiment is down, which is insane. The stock is completely up, then it crashed 20%. People are scared and people are selling. There is a very good chance, like I just showed you guys, a very good chance that the PE eventually, because remember, that forward PE eventually becomes the trailing PE, right? In the coming months, 6 to 12 months. And there's a really good chance that that PE is going to be similar to these, right? Similar to what a normal stock trades for, not this insane 6% PE. Now, again, Micron has contractually locked in 100% of its high bandwidth memory demand for the next 12 months, with its entire production capacity completely sold out through 2026 across its entire broader product portfolio. Strategic long-term customer agreements already lock up roughly 50% of Micron's total future sales. Now, I believe what they said here in this article, that roughly 50% of their future sales through 2023 are already locked in through long-term contracts. So what does that mean? Imagine you're a company, and for the next 3-4 years, you literally have half of your sales already cooked in the books. Now, what are the odds that that's going to completely collapse, right? I really don't think so, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And obviously, Micron stock is currently falling as investors wonder if the memory market is near the top. We just talked about why we don't think that's the case. And again, the old saying as it goes, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. And funny enough, guys, if you look at the stock, you'd think people were being greedy, but almost in a, ironic kind of way, people are actually being fearful when the stock is trading at a forward P of 6.54%, guys. Let me know your thoughts on that, guys. Please like, please subscribe. Again, if you're interested in following how I invest, I am creating a private group. If you guys want to click that link, it's my Patreon group. I will show you guys exactly how I built my $2 million net worth, exactly how I am investing my $886,000 stock portfolio, and what I'm doing as far as deploying this cash. I'm going to send alerts, which stocks I'm buying, which stocks I'm bullish on, and there will be a chat in there as well where we could talk stocks in general and specifically talk about Micron stock. So with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.